And you just bright up my Saturdays. Bright up. You light up my Saturdays.
I can brighten up your Saturday too.
Bright them up, girl. I'm just genuinely
too. I couldn't wait.
Our energy just pew 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 off each other. So
never.
No.
So that first Saturday, I was like, oh, we get a break.
Yeah.
You know, I had one of those moments where it's, oh crap,
I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be late. And he was like, no, wait. Let me check my messages to make sure, right? And so I didn't have to be there. And it was like,
I ain't gotta go nowhere.
What am I gonna do? I don't know how to do. I got a whole 4, 5 hours. What is Arms gonna do? Watch some more Perry Mason.
I'm telling you,
you
old.
First of all, I'm
Perry Mason. You gotta look for Perry Mason. It didn't just pop up on your stream. Like
what had happened was. Jeez, I am a caregiver, and one of my clients reminded me that I liked Perry Mason because I walked in and she had Perry Mason on, and it was a back-to-back day, and so that's what we watched. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot.
Do like Perry Mason.
How much I missed Perry Mason.
Okay,
so, yeah.
You squeezed your way out of that one, because I was about to say, what streaming service you paying to watch Perry Mason?
Not too shabby, how I suppose. I mean,
yeah. You 22, 20, 24 your way out of that situation.
Ashley, how you doing? How was your holiday?
Absolutely amazing. I spent time with my children. We created new traditions.
In
spite of
everything. And really, I used to say in spite of COVID, but I think in spite of COVID, truly, for all the lives lost and the headache that it has brought time and space for people to create new things, start new jobs, do new things. So, what was one of the things that you guys started doing?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, we stuck to the normal tradition, hot chocolate and everything. But the new part was, of course, Zoom and FaceTime and certain relatives.
Family. Yeah. Now that is cool. That is cool because that's something that you can keep, right? Because a lot of times we miss those family members, if they lived across the country and we didn't, all you can do is send a card, exactly. Or I can't afford it. Yeah. Even then, And so to now have technology as a resource that allows you to bring folks in that even if it wasn't COVID, you wouldn't have seen them. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's just a really cool additional tradition to bring in. So
it really is.
I know. And the kids keep technology in your life. So
what's all day? And I see that with my family because my grandmother actually, her birthday is Christmas Eve, so she turned I think 92.
Oh, what a gift!
Right. And so my uncle, because grandma can't see the numbers, downloaded Duo on her phone.
Oh, that's
so
cute.
We're all, I had to do it for my mother.
Yeah.
And so that statement is like, even though I'm kissing baby, Mom was like, oh, we have to do this thing called such and such. And I was like, I don't know. So let me do some research,
and
download it, and we played it, and guess how? And so now my mom said,
"That's so cute." What's she say? Don't do that. That is cute.
Because my mom said it was kind of cute at first, but every time she calls me now, it was like, now I can see where you at for real.
Now you do know I ain't got to turn my camera on, Mom.
You do know I ain't got to answer. But anyway, know that. I'm just saying, you do. Love you.
It's okay.
So yeah, that's how that was. But yeah, for me, I actually went home I went to Arkansas. For those who don't know where I is from, I had to go home and hang out with my mother because if I didn't, I'm pretty sure she'd have been down here in Texas. Where you at? Right. So, but it's cool. So I got a chance to see my other 2 brothers and some nephews and all that, and some I haven't seen in a while. So I was very grateful for that. That experience and that time, the drive, because I did drive, was 7 or 8 hours.
Okay.
And it was peaceful going, peaceful coming. I ran over something, thank God. It
didn't damage nothing.
Oh Lord, child, still 2.5
cover,
hours
Lord.
Out.
Cover.
And so before I said that, I felt like Tupac because it was that and some other things.
Oh yeah,
all in that same sentence.
That's so real,
right? So I didn't know what to do with the say.
Right.
So I don't know which emoji I want. It was just God, but and da-da-da.
What you know, G?
I didn't.
All of them.
Can we do them all? So, yeah, and then, made it to the gas station, checked everything. All my tires were okay. I looked at them all the way back. Maybe I should be listening to Kirk Franklin and not this.
It's okay. It's okay. You're jamming too hard. It's okay.
I really was.
Okay.
So, I'm just grateful that I made it back in one piece. I didn't have to call AAA.
Amen.
I got to pay them up.
I know, right?
So
That's real.
Yes.
AAA is a deal. That's terrible.
That I let go of. But anyway, I got to figure out how to work that back into my life. But anyway, listen, again, it's 2021. It's January 9th of 2021. I'm so excited that we made it, y'all. Mm-hmm. We made it. Before we even get into our guests, because we're going to do that in a second. I just, for those of you who, we made it. Yes. I'm grateful we made it because so many people can't say that, right? Mm-hmm. So let this year be the year of no nonsense.
Absolutely.
Let this year be the year that we truly go after, like we talked about earlier, those things that we thought we couldn't, that we didn't have, or that we weren't worthy of.
Yep.
You are, because you're still here.
Absolutely.
Right? So take this 365. If you get all of them, every day that you're giving, this is truly one of those moments where you know what? I didn't do it last year because I was waiting on something.
Sure.
Make that happen.
Yep.
No longer shall we wait.
Yeah.
No longer shall we stop God in the faithful. Okay, because you got everything you need.
For me, I was just like, I want, with that mindset, it's like I've lived these last 45 years feeling like, I'm sexy, 45, glistening, popping, all the things.
Yes.
There is no shame.
Yes,
in letting you know I'm 40 and 5.
Yes.
But it's like I've spent all of this time bemoaning certain situations or stuck in the trauma or stuck in the pain. And like I said on the previous show, it's like if I've spent, and it's been uncomfortable, that hasn't been a fun place to be. And so if I can spend that amount of time, living in ways that are uncomfortable, let me be uncomfortable doing something different. Yeah. Right. So I'm not a fan. I'm a sugar fan. I love all the things that are all of the sweets of all of the things.
Yes.
And so, but that also has created some situations in my life that are things that I don't like. So why don't we try eliminating sugar? Let's see how that works. Well, oh Lord, I don't know if I can do that. Everything I need is sugar. It's going to cause me withdrawals. And a litany of reasons why I don't even want to try it. Well, why don't we just shut all of that up and try what it's going to be like?
And do it.
So I just want to give myself, I want to commit myself in this next 40, 60 year for every day that I am given to try to do something different, to try to live a different way. And especially as it relates to just how I take care of myself, health, spiritually, physically, emotionally, because I realized over the break that there's a lot about myself that I don't know. And there's a lot about myself in terms of what I like, what I love, what I don't like, what I don't want in my space. I don't know. And so I want to examine that this year and live a life that is giving me pleasure rather than just existing. So
ooh, yes, that's
awesome. Kind of where I'll be. So y'all hold me accountable. Like, ask me, how are you doing with that? Why haven't you pursued, gone into that? Yeah. Because it's really easy to be like, I want to do these things, but I fall back into these. Right. Boy, this was hard. Let me just lick my wounds, and then I end up in the same spot for another 6 months. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have time for that. So.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So after the break, we're going to take a break right quick. And after that, we'll get right into our guests.
Yes.
Are you sick of water-based products and products full of toxins? We have great news for you.
Are you tired of bad hair days, dry, damaged hair, and lackluster curls? We know the struggle is real. Herbs Nectar Hair Care is here to bring life back to your hair and take you from struggle to shine. Offering organic, cruelty-free hair care options, we focus on giving you salon quality with multi-use products to save time, money, and shelf space. Visit our website today at www.earthsnectar.com for thicker, stronger, healthier hair. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio at checkout.
Me, the great. I almost forgot my name when I got across the table. My girl,
Latriva Denise.
Yes. And so today we have with us our special guest, Ashley Gooden-Stewart.
Yes.
So when I first saw the name, I was like, I already want to know, but I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
I ain't gonna do it.
It sounds like a real rich, fabulous person.
I mean, not to say that you aren't, because you look rich.
I'm telling you.
Totally.
She's fabulous. She's absolutely
in
fabulous.
this tie-dye
I'm
outfit.
telling you,
Right?
lies.
So, I ain't mad at
Lies.
you, chick. Listen, I'm just, you got that. Did I have this knuckle yet? No? Okay. Anyway, so tell us a little bit about yourself and we'll start there. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, I am from Lamarck, Texas.
Hey, hometown hero.
Go Cougars.
Go Cougs.
Class of 2006.
Awesome.
So I moved to Austin in my 20s for a job that ended abruptly. And then afterwards, I was kind of finding my way in the things that I wanted to do. I always knew I wanted to run a nonprofit. However, my mentor, Barry, was like, "You're not ready yet."
Okay.
He said, enroll in my program. It's a year. You'll learn all the basics. You'll connect with different people and just volunteer. Quit your job at the call center and volunteer at a nonprofit.
Okay.
Since this is something that you're passionate about.
Okay.
However, it didn't come.
Okay.
But at the time I wasn't ready. Then life hit me hard. Marriage, having a baby, some things that I experienced through my pregnancy, being high risk and homelessness and different issues, underemployment. So life happened. However, the loss of my child led me back to Lamarck.
Okay.
I founded the Baby Stewart Foundation in memory of my son, CJ Stewart. He passed away at 3.5 months.
Okay.
So what led me back home is to have family and friends close to me. I'm so far away from my family and everything.
Okay.
So I needed that connection. I needed that support, especially during my grief process. So the Baby Stewart Foundation was founded August 2015. And what I wanted to do with the foundation was to go back to my hometown, help the families that were in need. A lot of nonprofits, charities, and different organizations were kind of closing their doors, lack of funding maybe, government funding. So I wanted to help them with hygiene issues, diapers, because diaper disparities is really big in the United States. So, 1 in 3 have issues affording diapers. And I run across families who have to make difficult decisions. If I'm going to use $15 to buy 2 weeks sleeve of diapers, or am I going to take this money and use it for food? Food or fuel
for the car. Yeah, that makes sense.
For the remaining of the week. So I didn't want them to have to make that difficult decision. I didn't want them to have to, maybe commit a crime
in order to get their needs.
Right. So I wanted to give families a boost up, to give them that help, because I experienced some things in my life and I didn't want that for other families, particularly in Galveston County.
Okay. Nice. And so with the Baby Stewart Foundation, you provide, you were saying, hygiene items like diapers. How do you know like what people need? Are you focusing on families with children and you're just going based off of being a mom, knowing what needs people have? How do you decide like what sorts of resources you are able to provide or ask for?
Well, being a mother, it gave me some sort of insight, right? And then doing research on different countries such as Finland.
Okay.
They provide families for a whole year, despite of their socioeconomic status.
Okay.
With
when they have a baby?
Right.
Okay.
Whenever they have a baby, all the things that they need for a whole year.
Wow.
So everyone have equality all across the board.
Okay.
And so doing that research, looking at the basics such as onesies, lotion, shampoo, that kind of gave me an idea as well.
Awesome.
Wow, that's nice.
Okay.
And can you imagine what type of leg up?
Yes.
I mean, I know you can, because that's why you started. You dealt with that. But to, try to imagine, if you can, putting yourself in the shoes of that parent, whether they're a single parent or not, that leg up to not have to spend that money for a year, what they're able to save or what they're able to do to adjust to having that new addition, to the family. That's awesome. That's amazing. And so how would someone donate or give if they want to help you with the supplies that you get?
Well, we are very active and responsive on Facebook, so they can find us on Facebook, The Baby Stewart at facebook.com. They can also look at our website. On Facebook, we have a few campaigns going on for families in need on GoFundMe. And we also have another campaign for GoFundMe, which is Trucking for a Cause. And each week, the president of the board, Jennifer Bannister Yard, and myself, we go to Angleton Walmart. And we obtain these donations from Walmart and spread it across the community.
Like goods, donations of goods from Walmart, like different products, or do they get food, or what sorts of things?
It's random. So everything that you said above, sometimes it's food items that are non-perishable.
That's awesome.
Clothing, household items, toys.
And you said every week?
Every week.
That is a gift.
Nice. Yeah, and it gets costly.
Yes.
Because of course, I don't have an income.
Yes. And
we rely on donations and donors and partners. However, everything's lacking due to the pandemic.
Sure.
But anyone can definitely go on there. $5, $10, anything counts.
Wow.
Everything.
Okay. And so your website, because you what was your website? What's the website?
Okay. It's thebabystewart.org.
Okay. And then if someone wants to give money, is there a way they can do that via the website?
On our Facebook page.
Okay.
With our campaigns.
Okay. Awesome. So make sure you guys chip in. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was so blessed by how many families you were able to. I was watching on Facebook when you were having these different donations. You were like, "Hey, we have bikes for kids," and I'm like, okay, here we go. We got these things. You were asking people to come get these things for Christmas, like for their children. And it felt like every day, like you were showing these pictures of all of these different donations that you had to give away to families. And I was amazed. I was like, she's doing so much and so many incredible things, like the way that you are able to find resources in order to make them available. It's like you just kind of have these connections. So how were you able to go about networking and making relationships so that you would have folks who would be able to give to your organization so that you could help people?
Honestly, I'm a type of person that will stay up all night.
Okay.
Just Google.
Okay.
Just Google. I don't usually use like a grant website, and I'm searching. Can I find a donation request for diapers, for backpacks, for clothing, for socks, for underwear? And I'm just, looking. Yeah, and it takes a very long time. However, if I can have at least one partnership that says yes, that means everything to me.
Right.
Better fulfill our mission.
That's awesome. What dream do you have for the Baby Stewart Foundation? What is something that you hope to accomplish through this organization? What is the biggest thing that you have on your horizon right now in terms of what you want to do?
Even though we have a lot of global partnerships, I want my organization to be global as well. I don't necessarily want to be stationed in just one community, one county. I want the Baby Stewart Foundation to be in every state and be open to all families who are in need and people who are in need in general, because not only do we help families, we also expanded our mission to help homeless people. We love our homeless outreach the most, and just to help families, just to elevate them. Maybe job security, maybe if it's childcare is the issue. So that's my bigger dream, maybe in the next 5 years or so.
I know that you have a lot of experience with surviving, or not just surviving, but making it through grief. And so I wanted to give you the opportunity to share with us what some of your greatest lessons or greatest tools have been as you have coped with grief in the ways that it has come to your life over time.
Well, grief is something that I'm passionate about, something that I advocate for, pregnancy and infant loss, to be exact as well. But even though I try to kind of stem away from bereaved parents and helping them, God kept pulling me back.
Okay.
He kept pulling me back, kept sending me people, stories. It didn't matter what job I was working.
Mhm.
A bereaved parent came to me.
Okay.
And I used to tell them, like, I can't tell you I know how you feel, but I know how it feels as a mother who has lost a child.
Right.
You know, but grief is something that I just want people to know that it is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
You can have a beautiful experience after your loss.
That's
You can
awesome.
move forward in a positive way and have gratitude in your heart. I became a certified grief coach from Grief to Gratitude program.
Okay. Okay.
And my director and mentor is Dora Carpenter.
Mhm.
And man, the words, the affirmation she had, the healing,
Mhm.
it helped me, you know, through my coaching certification and also to help more people. I just felt last year was the year that I needed to fully invest myself into helping bereaved parents and bereaved individuals that I came across.
So is this a resource that you are now able to offer through the Baby Stewart Foundation as well for families? That is so amazing.
That's awesome.
Congratulations,
So
Ashley.
needed. Yeah.
Congratulations.
So what was the hesitancy with not wanting to talk to those people? And I asked that because I dealt with that after my divorce.
Mhm.
I didn't want to talk about it.
Mhm.
And people kept, every time I turned around, there was somebody in my face.
Who needed to hear or
Yeah.
about that topic.
Or talk about it
That
themselves.
issue, yeah.
So, and that's huge because there's so many women and even men
Mhm.
who don't know what to do with that emotion.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you hear so often, parents shouldn't have to bury their children.
Right.
So was there a hesitancy in wanting to talk about it? And if so, what prompted that hesitancy?
Okay, so with grief, the reason why I tried to run, I tried to
Mhm.
hide from this calling is because I didn't want my story to be the focal point.
Right.
I wanted to center around this person. If they're wanting healing and this is what they want, then I wanted to focus on them.
Mhm.
You know, I went through it so I can help, you know, you or the world as well.
Mhm.
So I needed, you know, people to understand it. Now I'm more equipped, I'm certified. I can help people one-on-one with that,
Right.
with that process. That's all.
So I love that you are focusing on grief because a lot of times with Black families, we have been trained to believe that we just leave it at the feet of God, you know,
Right.
take it to the Lord in prayer. And we, you know, don't talk about the fact that there are stages of grief, that there are sometimes, you know, places where you get stuck in grief and everything is not just solved by prayer. You know, that prayer is a strong foundation, but sometimes your resources or the actual healing is through another medium. And so how have you noticed that there is a resistance within the Black community for counseling around grief? Or, you know, is there something that you've noticed that, you know, you have to put in more effort? Do you realize a connection between this and grief and Black people?
Right. I do notice the resistance. I mean, it's a difficult topic for anyone to talk about.
Right.
It's very taboo. No one wants to talk about death and loss and grief. So it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get it. And sometimes the Black community feel like it's not enough time for us to grieve. Like, here's another death with COVID. Here's another
shooting.
Another shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have time to, like, it's, you know, being very numb to it. Then you have to think about with healthcare, you know, a lot of deaths there, a lot of maternal health issues, and people not coming out alive. So we have a lot, and we have the issues of our ancestors,
trauma,
you know, the trauma from our ancestors on our back too. So it's a lot with our community, and it's going to take some healing, and I think that we can all get through it.
Oh,
have you noticed the particular way that you have to approach, you know, Black families, or do you feel like, I guess I'm just not concerned, but I guess I'm trying to understand how you get families who typically may not have been responsive, because we don't really care about therapy that way. Like, as a community, we're getting more in touch with that. That is a form of healing. But when it comes to reaching families, have you found that to be difficult, or do you think that people are open to having support from outside of church?
Well, a lot of times it took me like talking about the issues, being more vocal, expressing that 1 in 4 mothers have experienced child loss or miscarriage
loss,
right. So it took me having to be vocal, normalizing the conversation around it, and then they kind of
began to see you as a resource so more people would come or reach out.
Nice. That's awesome.
Okay.
And we'll get back to that because I have a question for you too, pertaining to churches when we come back from this break.
Attention.
Personality, charisma, and style. A true star ready to shine at your next event. Latriva Deneen, radio personality and event host, will make your event the place to be and provide lasting memories for your audience. If you want to take your event to the next level, book Latriva Deneen to be your host, MC, moderator, or red carpet interviewer and host. Contact her at Latriva Deneen on Facebook and Instagram for booking information and pricing. And make sure to mention Stunner Radio sent you.
And tell them Stunner Radio sent you.
Yes, and we're back at the Love Power Radio Show. So we're here with our special guest, Ashley Gooden-Stewart of the Baby Stewart Foundation. And before we go, for my question, actually, Lauren said she's here for my amazing girlfriend, Ashley Stewart. So thank you so much, Lauren, for tuning in and supporting your girl, because ain't nothing like having a sister girlfriend support you in your endeavors. And this is something huge because we don't want to talk about
grief and loss and pain.
No, I ain't trying to, because like you said, in our community, just pull up your bootstraps
and you'll be fine.
And you better not talk about going to tell our business down the street. Right?
And we've lost so much. Like we're always losing stuff. This is something that Black people are used to. So suck it up, move on, let's move on.
What you crying for, right?
Exactly.
So my question to you though, because you mentioned dealing with the church, are you or have you or will you develop a program to work with churches and bring that to the forefront, because they are supposed to be, and some of them have gotten away from actually helping and being knee deep in the community like we used to hear them. But will that be something that you, if you haven't already, be looking into doing in the future?
I can definitely foresee that partnering with different churches. I have reached out to a few churches and they were receptive. They stated that they will contact me. They knew a few people that may need group coaching and they would call me. And I'm gonna be honest with you, my faith has brought me a long way. I mean, I always, had a strong faith walk, but that loss really,
it rocked you.
Yeah, it really made me stronger in faith.
Yeah, they will rock you.
When it comes to, and you mentioned before, as far as, dealing with grief that comes in various forms, and you mentioned responding to the police shootings that happened, and we recently experienced that in Lamarck. When it comes to violence that happens to our communities, is there a particular way that you would approach, or something that you would say as far as how to respond to a community that's grieving? Like, I know that we talk one-on-one, but are there ways that grief coaching can help us in larger, numbers? Or what do you do when there's a whole community that you are like, okay, how do I reach all of these people? Or how do I support me by myself, all of these people? What do you do in a situation where you have a town that you want to support?
I have been called, I have been tagged excessively on Facebook pertaining to the shooting and other things, the hurting in our community. So how I would respond is for those who want the healing, for those who want to vent, for those who want to cry and be heard. I mean, I'm here to hear that and to lead these support groups if that's what the community is wanting.
That's awesome.
And one more time before we go on to our next segment, tell the people how they can donate and where they can find you and information about your foundation.
Okay. You can find our foundation on Instagram, The Baby Stewart. We are also on Facebook, The Baby Stewart. Our website is thebabystewart.org. We have a few fundraisers that's on GoFundMe, so Trucking for a Cause. And we also have a cause for families in need. For grief coaching, you can look us up on Facebook as well, Pocket Full of Hope or Coaching with Ashley. Same as Instagram, Coaching with Ashley, and Pocket Full of Hope, griefcoaching.com. And that's with one L, no typo.
Okay.
For Pocket Full of Hope.
Okay, Pocket Full of Hope. Okay, cool beans. Or, and the grief coach is
Coaching with Ashley on
Coaching.
Facebook
Okay.
and Instagram as
Cool
well.
things. Thank you so much for being bold enough, right, to start that foundation, because it is so needed. And I really hope and pray that God continues to give you the strength
And
to endure and the support to endure, because maneuvering through and trying to figure out how to reach a people who, aren't used to talking about it or don't want to talk about it is a thing.
Yeah.
And it can be a true struggle, not even a struggle, but a struggle.
Yeah.
We're talking SKQRuggle.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you
Hope
all for having me.
Hope you
Yes.
stay with us to
Yes.
continue through our conversation. And we'll be right back after this skill break.
Personality, charisma, and style.
Attention all divas, fashionistas, and ladies of style and sophistication. Lisa Danae's Diva Den is now open for your online shopping pleasure. We offer custom designs created exclusively for the Diva Den, including our Queen collection, specifically designed with you in mind. Choose from tees, tanks, hoodies, leggings, face masks, and home decor. Tired of those cookie cutter looks and boring styling options? The Diva Den can help you get your shine on. Visit us today at www.lisadene.com/divaden and tell them Stunner Radio sent you.
Hey y'all.
And our special guest, Ashley Gooden-Stewart of the
Yes.
Baby Stewart Foundation. Listen, so right now, we going to turn the mic over to my girl, Latriva D. I want to know what's on your soapbox today.
So I struggle with this soapbox segment because I am so random and I always want to make everything so serious, right? So I always want to make it, this is a political issue. We need to make sure we're doing this and we're voting. And so, but the reality of who I am, the stuff that gets under my skin most of the time don't have nothing to do with that.
Okay.
So my soapbox for the last couple of weeks, so I decided that my soapbox is going to be just genuinely things that bother me.
Okay.
Me.
Cool.
And so my soapbox this week has to do with these plus size boutiques. All plus size boutiques are not created equal. Please hear me.
They're not.
And so what I've noticed is that they'll get your attention by being like, because what I wanted was one of those sexy onesies. Did y'all see the sexy onesies that were popular this Christmas? Where it was the girl with the fitted stuff, it's like pow, and then the hips was like pow, and then it was like real low and it was skinny and you could wear it right. So typically their model was some voluptuous Instagram model with this short set onesie on with her boobs out, whatever, and making you drool, which is, you want to be a sexy, pajama girl for your man over the break in front of the, or your woman in front of the fireplace, right? So I want a sexy onesie.
Okay.
So I click on the page. They're like, we got plus size. So I'm like, cool, babe. Yeah. So then they're like, we go up to 7X. And I was like, oh, well, I sure ain't no 7X, baby. I could give me a 3 or a 4 if I want a little baggy in the baby. But it's fine. So I'm looking. I'm like, and something in my heart and in my brain was like, 7X is not a normal number. Check and see what these inches is looking like, right? So I go to the size chart and their 7X was like 52 inches. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I don't know numbers. I don't do math. So let me do the US sizing chart. A 52 inch is more like, a 20, a 7X. Yeah. So you're about to sell me a 7X and then send me a US 20 and expect me to be okay with this, right? I feel like these boutiques are oftentimes capitalizing and they are trying to make money on plus size women who want to find trendy, sexy things that make them feel good and they're comfortable with their body. So if it's a little more fabric, I'm okay with that. But they are saying that they're offering a product for a particular demographic that they really are not serving. Yeah. And it just really frustrates me and makes me mad because we want to be sexy.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be cute. We want to, and we can all be at different places in terms of how we feel about, big bodies or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
the bottom line is there's an industry that's saying that they're providing something for people,
Definitely.
and they're really not.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating because I can't trust that, just like I can go to a Lane Bryant and click on it and I know the 22 is going to fit me, or
Right.
an Eloquia or whoever.
Right.
And I know that this is going to be my size.
Mhm.
I want to support a boutique because I know that maybe I'm not going to be able to get my stuff out of a big box store.
Mhm.
And I got to go to somebody who has a unique niche market, me,
Mhm.
and I want to support them. So if I'm trying to support you, don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Like, don't gaslight me and make me feel like, oh yeah, I can get a Fashion Nova, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
or whatever. And it really don't fit me that way.
Yeah.
And we waste so much money and it just
time.
time.
Like, now you gotta figure out, go through all them steps.
Absolutely.
Contact us. You ain't really contacting us.
Absolutely.
You gotta send the email, wait on them to respond.
If
then
they do
this, and then send it back and wait to see if you're gonna get your money. So here's the thing, and
Mhm.
because I came across that because I saw one. I want to also support our, people who have online boutiques, whatever. I think I want one, that sort of thing.
Sure.
And someone told me check the
Size
chart because it kept popping up.
Mhm.
Everything I click on, oh, that's cute, and she had a
Mhm.
heck of a markdown. So I was like,
Of course. Exactly.
So let me look size chart. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
That is not my size.
that's not. And like you,
Mhm.
because I was like, I would get a 3X just because I
Mhm.
wanted that item to be a little bit baggy.
Mhm.
And the 3X was actually what a 1X is, and I thought,
This is not okay.
Sis,
Yep.
yeah, that's not gonna work for
Yep.
me. So unfriend.
Right. And that's the part that it's just like,
I had to
and
because
you
she had
can't-
something that didn't serve me.
Yep.
So that I need that space.
Yep. And it's like in a lot of instances though, we're not,
I'm offended.
we're not.
I wonder if they actually did their research when it comes to these vendors
Right.
to see if that is actually
The
a
size.
3X or 4X.
But even if they didn't do the research for the vendor, let's say once you got the product yourself,
Mhm.
you know what it is before you put it on your website.
Yeah.
You know when you get it in your hand that this ain't gonna fit a 4X, 5X
Yeah.
sis,
If you care.
if you care.
Oh.
And that's the part that's so sad because we will, I can't think of what the word is, where it's like, I know that I'm doing something that is not really helping you. Like, I know that I'm okay with you buying from me one time. Because if I get 80 million people to buy from me one time, I got 80 million, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That sort of mentality. I'm just, so that's the kind of stuff that y'all gonna be hearing
Yeah.
about from me because
And I
that,
need y'all to do better than
that just, yes, because I'm just, and just even us being like, this shirt is really a child's 12, and they said that this was a 12X.
Yeah.
And I'm not, put them on blast because
Yeah.
I just feel like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And if, people are not sometimes looking, and we should as consumers, but if you see a 7X, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's for me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to trust you because
Yeah.
of course that's not a common size.
Yeah,
So if
right.
you're going to tell me that that's my size and that you have it, then I'm going to just be like, let me trust you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I need you to
So,
advertise correctly.
Child, that's just
I
deceptive marketing.
Look, sorry,
I'm not here
Ashley, you
for it.
might not have this issue, but yeah. Thank you for staying with us.
Yes. So what is your love notes? We coming to those next.
Yeah, we're coming to those right after.
Wrapping up.
Look, right after these messages.
We'll be right back.
Are you enjoying the show? Great, glad to hear it. Show your love for your favorite Stunner Radio shows with t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, and more. Visit our store at www.stunnerradio.com to get your Stunner merch today. We are urban talk radio for the Black and brown communities and all those who value diversity. Stunner Radio is the heart and soul of the culture.
For red carpet interviews and premieres, email us today at IamMissMimi@gmail.com.
5 seconds, stand by.
Information. That's IamMySSMEME@gmail.com.
Yes,
.com.
so we're rocking because of the stuff that we hear in our ears.
Yes.
Y'all looking at
Like,
okay. That's it. The Love Card Radio Show is your Miss Mimi. Across the table, I have my girl.
Latriva Deneen, I have a joke for you.
Oh, come on with it.
Ready? Okay. So what did, and this is so random, what do Luigi and Mario wear?
Suspenders?
suspenders. They were denim, denim, denim. Denim, denim, denim. Denim, denim, denim.
Yes, indeed. And that's what you go get at the Love Power Radio Show. We got all kinds of stuff going on here. We do. Follow us, Instagram and Facebook. So it is time for us to shut it down for today. Thank you so much again for tuning in with us. Thank you for coming back to those who did. For the new listeners that we have over yonder,
so excited.
Thank you for tuning in. So now it's time for the Love Notes, right?
Yes.
Every week. We're going to continue this, giving you something to gnaw on and chew on for the week until we come back, until we meet again.
Yes.
I ain't going to sing in your ear yet. Yes. So, Ashley, if there was one thing you could give somebody, one piece of advice to chew on, to gnaw on, something from your experiences, what would it be?
I would tell them to just keep moving forward, despite what happened in the past. It may have made you and gave you character, but keep moving on. Just keep moving. Keep on living.
Can't beat that. Latrice, what you got for us?
Believe that there will be better. And even if you can only believe in little doses, just hold on to the belief that what you want in your life can happen. And just believe, just believe, even if it's a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver of that hope and that confidence, because before you know it, you'll begin to see the manifestation of that belief.
And you will. Yeah, I can't say that for sure, because that's what happened to me. I had to, believe that I could. It was like, I think I can. I think I can. And I did.
Yes.
And so it is so very real to do that. And as Ashley said, move forward. That was my thing. Move forward.
Yeah.
Always. Life is going to deal you a deck of cards.
Yeah.
And in it, you're going to have a joker. You're going to have some queens. You have some spades. You have some clubs. You have people who want a club. You're going to go to the club, right? But whatever you do, move forward, right? So pick up what you can out of that experience and move forward. There's always a positive.
Yes.
There's always a positive, and always pain comes through. I mean, positive stuff comes out of your pain,
out
right?
of darkness.
Yes. So pick it up, dust yourself off, and move forward. Find somebody. If it's friend, music, movie, something positive to feed yourself. Yes, and move forward. Absolutely. Every day that you're given the gifts of life, and you're able to breathe. Move forward. Such a word. In fact, I think that's what we should do. On the count of three, let's take a deep breath and realize, like Tiny Capri says, realize that we're here and we are able to breathe, and we are accepting of the air that we're given, the gift this day to do this thing. Take a breath. 1, 2, 3. Yes, the ability to breathe and open up your diaphragm and your lungs feeds your blood and allows your brain to do what it's supposed to do, and that's work at its fullest potential. I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. It's your girl, Miss Mimi. Across the table, I got my girl, Latrice. Thank you so much, Miss Ashley, for coming through. Thank you. We look forward to being in your face. Yes. And you being us, because I'm loving what you're doing. So you have my full support. Anywhere I can plug you, trust me. Yeah, on Front Street. Yes. Already. Thank you. You guys have a great one.
Have a great one.
Amazing urban.
Hey, all right.
If you're looking for a keynote speaker for your next event, look no further than Miss Mimi of Mimi Speaks, specializing in panel discussions, women's luncheons and conferences, and fashion shows and trade shows. Miss Mimi brings her unique blend of experience and training to make a lasting impression on your guests and clients. With powerful, engaging, thought-provoking topics and presentations, Miss Mimi will provide your guests with meaningful takeaways and life-changing revelations. Also available for red carpet interviews and premieres. Email us today at iammissmimi@gmail.com for booking information. That's iammissmeme@gmail.com. If you're looking
products.
This show is sponsored in part by Sebastian Productions, where we specialize in modeling, runway coaching, personal styling, event production, and consulting. For more information, visit www.sebastianmodeling.com.